Elon Musk just went nuclear. He's demanding $134 billion, claiming OpenAI and Microsoft stole his vision. He funded the dream, but says they turned it into a greedy profit machine. A jury trial is coming, and the evidence is insane. Was Elon cheated out of the century's biggest jackpot? Elon Musk is asking a court to make OpenAI and Microsoft pay him up to $134 billion, arguing that they unfairly benefited from his early help and made huge profits he believes should rightfully be his. Musk claims in court papers that OpenAI made roughly $65 to $109 billion from his early work as a co-founder starting in 2015, while Microsoft earned about $13 to $25 billion, and he's pointing this out ahead of his upcoming trial against both companies. Musk's main lawyer told Reuters that OpenAI wouldn't exist without Elon Musk, saying he put in most of the early money, used his name to boost the project, shared his business knowledge, and that experts have now put a dollar value on what he contributed. OpenAI fired back in a statement, calling Musk's request unserious and claiming it's part of what they describe as an ongoing campaign against the company, while Microsoft declined to comment on how much money Musk is asking for. Earlier this week, OpenAI said the lawsuit has no real basis and is part of what it calls harassment from Musk, while a Microsoft lawyer stated there's no proof the company helped OpenAI do anything wrong. In a separate filing on Friday, both companies pushed back against Musk's claims about the damages he says he's owed. Musk, who left OpenAI in 2018 and now runs xAI behind the rival chatbot Grok, claims OpenAI broke its original mission when it shifted into a for-profit company, and a judge in Oakland, California, ruled this month that the case will go to a jury, with the trial expected to begin in April. Musk's court filing says he put in around $38 million, covering about 60% of OpenAI's early funding, and also helped bring in talent, connect the founders with key people, and give the project credibility when it first launched. Musk argues that just like early startup investors can earn massive returns far beyond what they first put in, the profits OpenAI and Microsoft made, which he says were unfair, are far bigger than his original investment and should now be paid back to him. The court filing says a financial expert hired by Musk calculated the value of his contributions to OpenAI and Microsoft. And it adds that if a jury rules against either company, Musk could also ask for extra penalties and other consequences, possibly including court orders to restrict their actions. In their filing, OpenAI and Microsoft urged the judge to block Musk's expert from presenting his claims to the jury, saying the analysis is basically made up, can't be verified, has never been used before, and unrealistically tries to move billions of dollars from a non-profit to a former donor who's now a competitor. The companies also challenged Musk's damage numbers overall, arguing that his expert's method isn't reliable and could confuse or mislead the jury. Moreover, South Korea's trade minister said Saturday that a new U.S. order placing a 25% tariff on some advanced computer chips is expected to have only a small effect on South Korean businesses. Trade Minister Yeo Han-koo said the government is being careful for now, but the first steps mainly target high-end chips made by NVIDIA and AMD. He added that because the memory chips South Korean companies mostly sell aren't included right now, the short-term impact should be small. Yeo warned that it's still too early to relax, pointing out that there's uncertainty about if and when a second phase might be rolled out or widened. He also said the government will keep working closely with the industry to secure the best possible results for South Korean companies. On Wednesday, U.S. President Donald Trump signed an order over national security worries that puts a 25% tariff on certain AI chips, including high-end processors made by NVIDIA and AMD. The White House said the tariffs will be very limited and won't cover chips or related products brought in for U.S. data centers, startups, everyday consumer uses, non-data center industrial uses, or government applications in the U.S. The fact sheet says the U.S. could soon expand these tariffs to cover more semiconductor products as a way to push companies to make chips at home. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said Friday that South Korean and Taiwanese chip makers could be hit with tariffs as high as 100% if they don't invest more in U.S. production, according to Bloomberg, speaking at the groundbreaking of a new Micron factory near Syracuse, New York. The order comes after a 9-month government review and focuses on taxing certain high-performance chips and products that use them, as part of a bigger push to get more semiconductors made in the US and reduce dependence on manufacturers in places like Taiwan. With that, global spending on artificial intelligence is expected to hit about $2.5 trillion in 2026, jumping 44% from the year before, according to new forecasts from Gartner, showing how AI is moving from experiments into core business systems, even as companies grow more careful about where they spend. Gartner says that by 2026, companies will focus less on risky AI experiments and more on whether they actually have the skills, systems, and clear results to support it, with many businesses choosing AI tools from existing software providers instead of betting on new projects, as they look for more predictable returns before rolling AI out at a larger scale. A big reason spending is climbing is heavy investment in AI infrastructure, with companies rushing to build the basic tech needed to support it, as spending on AI-ready servers is expected to jump 49% in 2026 and make up about 17% of all AI costs, adding roughly $401 billion in total, and showing just how expensive it is to scale AI systems. Gartner's data shows AI infrastructure will keep leading the way, rising from about $965 billion in 2025 to $1.37 trillion in 2026, and hitting $1.75 trillion by 2027. While spending on AI services is expected to reach nearly $589 billion in 2026, and AI software around $452 billion, with fast growth also coming from areas like AI security, models, data science tools, and AI app-building platforms. Overall, global AI spending is projected to rise from about $1.76 trillion in 2025 to $3.34 trillion by 2027. And Gartner says that even with short-term caution, long-term growth looks strong, as companies focus more on proven results and building AI directly into their core business systems, instead of treating it as a side experiment. Gartner said it will share deeper insights on global AI, data, and analytics at its 2026 Data and Analytics Summits in cities like Orlando, São Paulo, London, Tokyo, Sydney, and Mumbai, as companies around the world fine-tune their AI plans in a market increasingly driven by infrastructure.